presentation. So just to give a brief summary and not take up too much time of what chapters 1 and 2 are about, so I'm just going to start off by discussing chapter 1 first and just discussing what the nature of a wicked problem is. So one of the first things that came to mind when I read this chapter was traffic. Everybody knows what it is. My personal belief is that it is of the devil. I don't understand it. I can't wrap my mind around it. Just for example, I'm a commuter student and I'm coming from Mesquite all the way to Arlington, and then I have to, once I drop my sister off in Arlington, I come to DBU, and we leave the house at 6:20 a.m. every single day. Every single day. Nothing changes about my routine. However, it is a phenomenon to me how I can arrive at DBU to my destination at totally different times. It doesn't make sense. And so that's kind of what my brain went to when reading this chapter. And just to discuss briefly, number one, wicked problems are hard to define because everyone sees the problem differently. I could ask 5 different people what their interpretation of traffic is and what are the root causes. And every last one of those people are going to give me totally different responses because it's based upon their interpretation and their perspective of it. Number two, there is no final solution. You only see temporary progress. We can extend the roads all day, but it doesn't solve anything. I mean, we end up back at the same place that we once started. And then on top of that, each attempt has long-term unpredictable consequences. I cannot predict the behavior of individuals who are going to get on that road. I can't predict it. And so that's part of the reason why we continue to run into these issues. You don't know if someone gets sick. You don't know if someone is going to get in a car crash. You don't know. It's very unpredictable. You're not going to know what the root cause is all of the time because people's behaviors can be unpredictable. The problems are unique and interconnected, and they have many causes. One thing directly impacts another, no matter what you do. Like if I stop on the brakes real hard, then the person behind me is going to stop on the brakes real hard, and it's going to just cause a whole ripple effect of people all the way behind me. And then lastly, solvers must take responsibility because there is no test run. Despite me leaving the house at the exact same time every single time I leave the house, it is still up to me to make sure that I do my due diligence because I already know that traffic is going to be unpredictable. So I need to make sure that I just check the ETA before I leave the house. That is on me at that point. So next, chapter 2 discusses, wicked problems. They show up everywhere. You cannot get away from them. Number 2, lack of progress comes from misunderstanding of the issue. If we can just go back briefly, when we read and went over the Panama Canal, part of the French's issue was that they pushed their context and their understanding of the Suez Canal onto the Panama Canal. And that is why they ran into significant issues because they didn't have a clear understanding of what they needed to do to actually accomplish the goal. Next, modern leaders recognize bigger problems as unavoidable. If these people who do the research with big brains are saying that these issues are unavoidable, then hey, it's not much that we can do with that. Old problem solving methods no longer work. What would have worked yesterday may not necessarily work today because they are so unpredictable in nature. No matter what I do, no matter how much I prepare, it's always going to be something new that directly impacts what is going to happen. And then lastly, naming wicked problems helps us to make real progress. Once we understand that we've arrived at problems that have that are very difficult to try to fix or to try to get in front of, number one, we'll stop stressing and we'll stop wasting our time with certain things. And number two, you'll make sure to put your focus and to pivot your focus on what's effective and efficient in the moment. Thank you all for taking a moment to listen to my part of the presentation. Next.